Did you know the world's greatest powers are trapped in a hidden cycle? Sir John Glubb discovered something terrifying. No empire survives past 250 years. America turns 250 this year. The symptoms are identical: debt, military overreach, social decay. This isn't conspiracy. This is pattern. In 1776, 13 colonies declared independence. Today, we're watching the clock. Not because I want America to fall, because history doesn't ask permission. It simply repeats. And right now, for the first time ever, all the warning signs are flashing at once. Let me show you something that changed how I see everything. Sir John Glubb spent his life studying empires, not one or two, all of them. Rome, Persia, Spain, Britain, the Ottomans. He found something nobody wanted to admit. They all followed the same pattern. They rose, they peaked, they fell. And the timeline? Roughly 250 years. Not PN 100, not 500, right around 250. America was founded in 1776. Do the math. 2026 marks year 250. Coincidence? Maybe. But when you see what comes next, you'll understand why I'm not sleeping well. Because Glubb didn't just find a number, he found 6 stages. 6 predictable phases that every empire walks through. And we're deep into the final ones. Stage 1, conquest. A nation rises through struggle. It fights for survival. It builds something from nothing. America had this: the revolution, the frontier, the industrial explosion, raw determination, pure hunger. This is when empires become dangerous, for they have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Stage 2, wealth. Victory brings resources. Trade routes open. The money pours in. America, it owned this era as well. Post-Civil War expansion, World War victories, we became the manufacturing capital of the world, the arsenal of democracy. But there's a twist. Wealth creates the next stage. Stage 3, affluence. This is the golden age, the peak. Life gets comfortable, really comfortable. Roads, schools, healthcare, entertainment. People stop thinking about survival. They start thinking about lifestyle. America slammed into this following World War II. The suburbs, the highways, television, the space race. We felt unstoppable. And we were, for a while. But affluence sows the seeds of something pernicious. Because when life gets easy, humans forget how hard it was to build. They begin to take it for granted. They act as if it will always exist. This is where the tide starts to turn. Stage 4, excess debt. Every empire reaches this point. Rome did, Britain did, Spain did. They all thought they could borrow their way to continued greatness. Rome started debasing their currency, the alloys and compounds used to adulterate silver. They needed money for soldiers, for bread, for circuses. The people demanded it. The government delivered. But you can't print wealth. You can only print money. And when money ceases to have meaning, the empire begins to crack. Britain learned this too. They were heavily in debt. They'd borrowed from America to battle Germany. Sterling, the world's reserve currency, began to lose its sting. They were not able to sustain the empire any longer. Too expensive, too spread out. Sound familiar? America's national debt recently passed $36 trillion. Not million, not billion, trillion. That is more than what our entire domestic economy produces in a year. We are paying over $1 trillion just in interest. Not paying down the debt, just the interest. The cost of having borrowed. The thing that nobody wants to say out loud is, we're never paying it back. We can't. We're adding to it. Every year, every month, every day. We are repeating what Rome did, what Britain did. We're believing we're different, we're special. The rules don't apply to us, but debt does not respond to exceptionalism. It only cares about math. Stage 5, military overreach. This one hurts to watch. Well, because it's so obvious when you do see it. Rome attempted to secure frontiers from Britain to Mesopotamia, thousands of miles, dozens of cultures, hundreds of threats. They built roads, forts, supply lines. They stationed legions everywhere, and it bankrupted them. Not immediately, slowly, like the leak you don't think is anything until your entire house is flooded. Britain made the same mistake. The British Empire never saw a sunset. Colonies on every continent, naval bases everywhere. It looked impressive. It felt powerful. But empires do not fall because they are weak. They collapse from exhaustion, from attempting to be all things to all people. More than 750 military bases in over 80 countries of the world have turned America into a global empire. We have a bigger military budget than the next 10 nations combined. We're the world's police, the global security guarantor. And it's crushing us. Not that our military is not, in fact, already strong, because strength costs money, money we're borrowing, from the very countries we're protecting against. China owns more than $1 trillion of our debt. Think about that. We take from them to sustain the military that is intended to keep them in check. This isn't strategy, this is the pattern. Stage 6, social dissolution. This is the final stage, the one that seals it, because you can survive debt, you can survive military strain, but you can't survive when your own people stop believing in the mission. Rome's final years weren't about barbarians at the gates. They were about Romans who stopped caring, who stopped joining the army, who stopped paying taxes, who stopped believing Rome meant anything. The elites threw games and parties while the borders burned. The middle class vanished, the poor got poorer, and everyone blamed everyone else. Britain saw this too. After World War II, the empire didn't end because they lost. They won. But their people were exhausted. Done. They'd sacrificed everything. 2 world wars in 30 years. They looked around and asked, what's the point? Why are we ruling India? Why are we fighting in Palestine? Why can't we just take care of ourselves? And the empire dissolved. Not with a bang, with a whimper. With people choosing local problems over global ambitions. Look at America today. Political polarization. At levels we haven't seen since the Civil War. Trust in institutions at historic lows. People don't trust the media, don't trust the government, don't trust each other. We're splitting into tribes, echo chambers, separate realities. The shared story is gone. The common purpose is fractured, and nobody knows how to put it back together. Now, here's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying America is Rome. That's too simple, too clean. History doesn't repeat exactly. It rhymes. But here's what I am saying. For the first time in history, all these symptoms are appearing simultaneously. The debt crisis, the military exhaustion, the social fracture, all at once. At year 249, right on schedule. Rome had the debt and the currency collapse. Britain had the military overstretch and the social exhaustion. America has both. We're running both scripts at the same time. And the scary part? Every empire thought they were different. Every single one. Rome thought Roman citizenship was eternal. Britain thought the pound would always be king. They all had reasons why the pattern wouldn't apply to them. We have ours too. We're innovative. We're resilient. We're America. We've overcome before. And maybe we will again. Maybe this time really is different. Maybe we'll be the first to break the cycle. But wanting something doesn't make it true. Belief doesn't override pattern. And right now, the pattern is screaming. The question isn't whether America will fall. The question is whether history can be broken. Whether 250 years is a law or just a coincidence. Whether we're watching the end of an empire or the birth of something new. Because here's the thing about patterns. They're only inevitable if you don't see them coming. Rome didn't know they were in a pattern. Britain didn't have the data. But we do. We can see every stage mapped out. We know what's coming next. So maybe, just maybe, knowing the pattern is enough to break it, or maybe knowing makes it worse. Because now we're watching it happen in real time, checking the symptoms, counting the years, wondering if we're already too late. I don't have the answer. Nobody does. But I know this. Ignoring the pattern won't make it go away. Pretending we're special won't change the math. And hoping for the best won't fix the debt, the overreach, the dissolution. This is the moment. Year 250. The final year before the pattern says time's up. What happens next isn't written yet. But the stage is set. The pieces are in place. And history is watching to see if we can do what no empire has ever done before. Break the cycle. Or become another chapter in Glubb's research. Another case study. Another 250-year story. The clock is ticking. The question is simple. Will history rhyme one more time? Or will we finally write a different ending? Learning begins with asking curious questions. If there's something on your mind or a question you'd like to explore, let's meet in the comments and find the answer together. And if you're curious about the harmony between history and money, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more.